This is a presentation of the draft long-range plan for the Adirondack Glens Falls Transportation Council. This is a summary of the topics which will be presented. The presentation will be about 20 minutes long and will include an overview of MPO transportation planning, regional transportation topics, next steps, and how to submit a comment. Overview. GFTC is a Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO, a regional association of governments, public agencies, and transportation providers covering Warren, Washington, and northern Saratoga County, including the town of Moreau and the village of South Glens Falls. In addition to administering federal funds to local roads and bridges, GFTC provides transportation planning services to our member municipalities. The Long Range Plan, or LRP, is a required core document which guides planning and capital improvements in the region. The LRP is updated every 5 years with a 20-year planning window. The LRP sets the framework for the Transportation Improvement Plan, or TIP, which it outlines capital construction projects, as well as the Unified Planning Work Program, or UPWP, which sets forth the annual planning projects undertaken by GFTC. The LRP is guided by 5 categories of planning principles. These are: strengthen and support regional character and economic vitality, integrate all transportation modes, balance system maintenance and expansion, protect the environment, and adapt to innovation. For each principle, there are 2 to 5 objectives which provide further context. Because time is limited, these objectives are not in the presentation. However, we invite everyone to refer to the draft plan for more information. To set the stage for future priorities and projects, a variety of demographic information is included in the LRP. These 4 categories represent factors which affect or are in turn affected by the transportation system. For each of these factors, there are maps, tables, and graphs in the document which you can refer to for more detail. In terms of population, there was an overall decline of 1.9% throughout the region since 2010. County-level population projections created by Cornell University indicate that moving into the future, Warren and Washington counties will continue to shrink, while Saratoga County will continue to grow. In terms of housing and transportation insecurity, we examined areas in which housing is more expensive for low-income residents, which included areas of Hartford, Lake George, Queensbury, Glens Falls, and Kingsbury. Transportation insecurity is a factor calculated by the Federal Highway Administration, or FHWA, for locations in which it costs more and takes longer to get where you need to go. The highest rankings were found in western Warren County and central Washington County. Age cohorts were also analyzed, as well as concentrated areas of senior population such as northern Warren and Washington County. Finally, employment statistics were analyzed. The location of where GFTC residents work is of particular importance in terms of transportation. Most residents work less than 25 miles from their home. High concentrations of GFTC workers are found in and around the Glens Falls area, as well as Saratoga Springs and the Greater Capital Region. Next, we'll be moving into transportation topics, starting with safety. For each topic, a brief summary of existing conditions will be given, along with challenges and opportunities. Finally, a list of priorities and projects will also be presented. As always, we invite you to refer to the draft document for more detail. 6 types of traffic safety data trends were analyzed within the LRP. These include the number of fatalities, rate of fatalities per million vehicle miles traveled, number of serious injuries, rate of serious injuries per million vehicle miles traveled, number of non-motorized fatalities and serious injuries, and crash contributing factors. Since 2017, the 5-year moving average for fatalities in the AGFTC region is down slightly. However, for all other metrics, the 5-year moving average has increased. In terms of the causes which contributed to crashes during this time, human behavior accounts for 67% of the factors. This includes things like speeding, alcohol, distracted driving, and road rage. In terms of challenges and opportunities, it is difficult, but not impossible, for a planning agency such as AGFTC to directly address safety related to human behavior. Although we cannot ask drivers to make safer choices, there are infrastructure countermeasures which can help drivers avoid crashes altogether, or reduce the severity of crashes which do occur. One opportunity is that access to funding for safety projects is becoming much easier thanks to programs such as Safe Streets for All, which will be discussed in a moment. This will allow both the MPO and member municipalities to identify and construct safety-related projects throughout the region. In addition, thanks to the new Clear Safety Portal developed by the New York State Department of Transportation, the MPO has better access to data and analysis tools than ever before. Given these conditions, the LRP has identified the following priorities and projects. First, we will continue to use our on-call engineering program to assist local municipalities to identify safety improvements. This long-standing program is well utilized by our local partners and will continue to play an important role. Next, AGFTC will develop a comprehensive safety action plan in collaboration with the Regional Planning Board. This project is actually already underway, as funding was obtained through the Safe Streets for All program in spring 2023. This will allow the MPO not only to delve into safety analysis and propose solutions, but will also allow our municipal partners to access additional funding sources for implementation in the future. We will also continue to provide safety data and analysis, and will continue to pursue partnerships with traffic safety boards as needed. Infrastructure condition. This topic relates to the condition of roads and bridges in the region, which is assessed by the New York State Department of Transportation. For the most recent data available, about 27% of locally owned federal aid roads had a New York State DOT condition score of 8 or above, which is classified as a good rating. Another 69% of roads had a rating of 6 to 7, which qualifies as fair. In terms of bridges in the AGFTC region, the average rating for locally owned bridges is slightly higher than state-owned bridges. Altogether, 91% of bridges in the AGFTC area are rated fair or good, according to FHWA standards. One challenge to improving pavement condition is that most of the local federal aid roads are not part of the national highway system. As such, funding eligibility is limited to the Surface Transportation Block Grant, or STBG, FLEX program. In terms of opportunities, recent changes to the Bridge New York program have reestablished project selection processes at the MPO level rather than on a statewide competitive basis. This makes it easier to comprehensively plan for bridge projects on a regional level. Moving forward, AGFTC will continue to assist local sponsors to maximize the potential of the available funding programs through the TIP. In addition, we will continue to support bridge and pavement preservation projects through planning initiatives, such as corridor studies or the Bridge Preservation Analysis Tool. System reliability and performance. System reliability refers to the consistency or dependability of travel times as measured from day to day or across different times of day. The performance of the road system is often a function of congestion, which hinders the free flow of traffic and contributes to reduced travel time reliability. This is also often related to the overall amount of traffic, measured here in vehicle miles traveled. After declining sharply in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, by 2021, VMT in the region had begun to increase again, though it remains to be seen when and if it will reach pre-COVID levels. The LRP also contains a list of noted traffic bottlenecks, including road segments and intersections in downtown Glens Falls, Queensbury, South Glens Falls, and Lake George. In general terms, the AGFTC region meets New York State targets for system reliability. One noted challenge is that VMT can be unpredictable, as shown during the COVID-19 shutdowns. However, existing areas of congestion are expected to worsen without intervention. New opportunities to use technology to address congestion, such as adaptive traffic signals, may open avenues to improvements which are not dependent on extensive road construction projects. To address system reliability and performance, AGFTC will continue to engage in planning studies at the corridor level, especially for high-priority bottlenecks. We will continue to monitor emerging transportation technology on behalf of our member municipalities. Finally, we will explore methods to monitor and forecast travel patterns using emerging big data platforms, which could replace traditional travel demand models. Public transportation. As with all transit operators in the U.S., Greater Glens Falls Transit, or GGFT, experienced a sharp decline in ridership due to COVID-19. Ridership has continued to improve since 2020, but has not yet reached pre-COVID levels. In terms of new services, GGFT partnered with CDPHP in 2021 to expand the Cycle bike share system to Glens Falls, Queensbury, and Lake George. This service has proved popular and additional capacity was added in 2022. Most recently, Warren County voted in May 2023 to merge GGFT with the Capital District Transportation Authority, or CDTA. The transition period is currently underway, and we look forward to collaborating with CDTA in the future. Due to these changes, a number of challenges and opportunities have emerged. The merger with CDTA may strengthen transit service availability between Glens Falls and Saratoga, which has historically been difficult to address. There is an ongoing need for rural transportation solutions for the outlying areas of Warren and Washington counties. AGFTC has undertaken a rural workforce transportation plan in collaboration with the Regional Planning Board to identify possible solutions. Finally, coordination between the many human service agencies which provide transportation to various client groups is an ongoing challenge. In terms of public transit priorities and projects, AGFTC will continue to manage the coordinated human services transportation process by documenting the needs, gaps, and priorities of human service transportation providers. We look forward to establishing a strong working relationship with CDTA. Finally, we will continue to support innovative efforts to address rural mobility needs through technical assistance, collaboration, and coordination. Complete Streets. Complete Streets refers to the practice of enabling travel for all modes, including cyclists and pedestrians. The AGFTC area is home to a robust and growing trail network which supports non-vehicular travel. AGFTC engages in a number of activities related to bike ped planning, including maintaining the regional bike plan, collaborating with advocacy groups and municipalities, and assisting with the development of the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA, transition plan inventories. In terms of challenges, the continued focus on project deliverability has increased project minimums for many grants, which makes it difficult to find funding for small bike ped projects. However, there is ongoing and growing community support for complete streets projects, which increases opportunities for partnerships and collaboration. AGFTC will continue to prioritize bicycle pedestrian planning efforts. In addition to the regional bike plan, AGFTC will also develop a companion document dedicated to pedestrians. Using the UPWP and On-Call Engineering Assistance Program, AGFTC will continue to assist our member municipalities to undertake complete street planning projects. We will also continue to prioritize bike ped elements in pavement projects and support micromobility efforts in the region. Freight and security. For the purposes of efficiency, freight and security have been bundled in this presentation. However, each topic has a dedicated section in the LRP. In terms of freight performance, AGFTC meets New York State targets for truck travel time reliability. Rail and canal infrastructure play secondary roles in regional freight, but still provide meaningful modes of travel for goods movement. Transportation security considerations in this region include extreme weather and hazardous material spillage. Challenges related to freight include geometric limitations on truck turning movements at certain key intersections and road segments. Similarly, some industrial areas have substandard access for freight, limiting their potential marketability. Finally, security is a challenge to integrate into the planning process for small MPOs. Priorities and projects related to freight and security include ongoing collaboration to find solutions to identified freight obstacles, as well as continued planning related to rail and water-based freight on an as-needed basis. In terms of transportation security, we will continue outreach with emergency planning and response agencies. Another potential option would be to undertake a criticality assessment of the road network to determine network robustness. Environmental sustainability. The relationship between transportation and the environment is complex. On one hand, environmental conditions can directly impact the operations and maintenance of the transportation system, especially with regard to climate-related issues such as increased precipitation, extreme weather, and warming trends, extreme heat events. Conversely, transportation projects can cause multiple impacts to the environment, including degradation of water quality due to runoff, the proliferation of invasive species, and the possible disruption of wildlife habitat continuity. There are a number of challenges and opportunities related to the environment. Although transportation is a major cause of greenhouse gas emissions, it is difficult to identify meaningful ways to reduce GHG emissions at the MPO level. In addition, although extreme weather has the potential to cause significant impacts, the incidence and location of these events is impossible to predict. However, there is expanded support and potential funding streams for resiliency-related plans. In addition, increases in funding through the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act have expanded the opportunity to directly address climate change issues through the UPWP and the TIP. The LRP documents the many ways in which environmental sustainability is woven throughout the AGFTC planning and programming process. For the sake of time, these are summarized. However, we invite anyone interested to refer to the draft document for more detail. In addition, we will continue to improve outreach, communication, and coordination with the relevant environmental organizations on an as-needed basis. The long-range plan has many required elements which were not covered in this presentation. These include a summary of public outreach, a financial plan with funding projections, performance target documentation, and a formal air quality conformity determination. Please refer to the draft document for more information regarding these topics. Next steps. The draft document is available on our website at agftc.org. See below for a link. Comments on the draft must be made in writing via email or mail to the office. Comments made over the phone or via social media will not be accepted. The comment deadline is September 14th, 2023. The Policy Committee will vote on adoption on September 20th, 2023. Thank you for your time.